Welcome back to the class, everyone. Today we are going to be taking on Lord Lux in our 6th match of the season. Things have been going a little bit better. We won our last match, that was really great. But before we do go ahead and get into this one, let's go ahead and make sure we know what we're getting into as far as roster goes. He's pretty comparable to our other opponents. We'll call him LL. He's got 282 more relic levels than us, which is pretty normal. He does have Ray and we don't, so there is kind of always that just holding over our head if we look at the Galactic Legends here. We are very close, though. I will have him for next season, not next, or I will have her for next season, not next match, but next season. And then we've got Omicrons. We actually do have a handful that he doesn't have, but he does have both of Darth Malgus' other ones. Probably not super relevant the way things are right now, but it is something worth mentioning there. So overall, pretty even. I do believe we have a decent advantage in mods. This has been kind of a reoccurring theme for these last couple weeks. We've dropped down low enough that the relic levels are still pretty high, but we're starting to gain an advantage of people in mods. We have, 30 more plus 25s, as well as, I think it's probably the same 30 of the plus 20s, and, 60 more plus 15. So he has most of the advantage, but like I said, it's not too uncommon right now that we have the advantage in mods. That's really cool for us. As far as the actual battle goes here, I'm continuing this theme of I don't want to get hosed and have all my teams in the back wall. So we're still front walling here. We still got Lord Vader. We have my Malgus team. Malik is up playing up. We'll see. I really don't think this team is that bad without Malik. I think really the core elements are actually Darth Revan, Talon, and Bastila Fallen. Gas is down there as well, doing what he does, as always. Topo also has quite a bit working on it. We've got, our JNK, Star Killer, C, and then JTR is just kind of there for funsies. And then his defense, it's more balanced than most. Like our last opponent, I think, had 5 Galactic Legends and both of the Pseudo Galactic Legends. This guy only has like 4 teams really total that we really need to worry about, and that is going to be Rey herself, Malgus up top, and then in the top zone, he's got JMK and Star Killer. So I think we're going to be able to maneuver this. There's a few teams I'm trying to figure out. The big one is the Malgus team on bottom. I think I want to use Qui-Gon Jinn to take it out, but at the same time, I think I need Qui-Gon Jinn to beat this Dash Hun Chewbacca team. So there are a few things floating around in my head. Also, Bad Batch, I think, wants to be used 3 times, so I'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here come the battles for the match. We're going to start off with something pretty simple. That is going to be our Iden versus their Mon Mothma. Really not a whole lot can go wrong here. You can even say they have a decent Datacron. They have the 25% turn meter, and that actually does start to make a difference in the very beginning of the battle. You can see that they actually do get a wide amount of turns typically in this fight. That doesn't happen. We actually get the jump on them. A lot of times we can even increase cooldowns and turn meter to the point where Worthless Guy isn't even able to get out in the very beginning, which is really good because he constantly, as the name goes, being worthless, he's constantly removing the taunt off of our Stormtrooper, and then we don't get to also decrease their turn meter while we increase our own when they keep assisting. But it still goes fine for the most part. I feel like if we had a little bit of a larger gear disparity than we currently do, this could go south. But gear 12 is enough that Kyle Katarn can't just one-shot us on his one-offs. He actually has to do quite a bit more damage. And we keep focusing them as usual, going after Kyle Katarn as well as Kara. They are the biggest targets here. The other ones that are really just there to generate turn meter, they're actually very, very helpful for us. So we try to prioritize them as much as we can. They end up accidentally killing one of the turn meter generators, being Pow, which kind of stinks because they get to revive him immediately and cleanse the death mark off of Kara, who I really wanted to be permadead. But this team has a lot of stacking offense, which means sooner or later, their entire team is just going to go down. We have a bunch of sweeping AoEs, and actually, this almost never happens, but we kill Mon Mothma first. I'll take it, she's dead, that works for me. And Pow actually steals 4 of our banners. This is becoming really consistent, and I've heard a lot of different reports from other players, but we're using the Qui-Gon Jinn 2-shot to be able to take down the most of his team. Really, we need to kill Bastila Fallen, and we need to kill Darth Revan. If they lose that amount of fear, then Traya can very easily clean this up in a second attempt, even with our lower geared one. So things are going about as normal as they typically do. We did not specifically have not been using Jedi Anakin's AoE because we really want to have the full damage boost, and this is a little bad right here. We don't have offense, or we have offense down, and we don't have foresight. And Jedi Anakin's AoE still levels not only Darth Revan, Bastila Fallen, but also Malik. At this point in the battle, I'm kind of just laughing hysterically because it's really funny to me that happened. And then we even take out Marauder, so solo Malgus is going to be really easy to clean up with Nihilus. We're going to be able to come in here right after this, and it's going to go well. But I even was talking to one of my friends recently about this, and he has a really good Datacron, a level 6 Datacron with his Qui-Gon, the one that gives 100% damage boost, and he had it played well enough, or really kind of also got the right RNG lined up, so that his Jedi Anakin didn't have shock, and he apparently just blew Malgus away, which is really, really impressive. That being said, we do have to clean up ours here. This is very easy. We typically were taking in like 3 tanks in against this team, but with it only being Malgus, I just splurged for the 3. And this Malgus, despite being R8 and having 3 Omicrons, he wasn't modded properly. He had a speed set, which it's okay, but you're missing out on a significant amount of health. And by the fact that our R3 set was tanking the true damage very easily kind of shows that. So now we have to take down Rey, and typically left Lord Vader, so we're taking our Lord Vader comp thing again for the SLKR here. And we actually misclick on the tech. I'm not sure how big of a deal that is. But typically what happens here is everyone has to be alive originally for when Rey gets her first ult. And then if we don't get to our ult by the time that Rey gets her second ult, we just die. Or if we do have it, then we just win. This isn't too bad because the Rey Datacron wasn't that good. I don't, if I'm being honest, I don't even know if I remember what the level 3 was. I think it might have been turn meter. I think it was turn meter. And she didn't have the good level 6 or good level 9. So the team isn't, like I said, too threatening, but at the same time, you know, Rey's still Rey. So she levels our entire team in the very beginning, and then JTR, like, ability blocks us, and the team just kind of goes rampant. And I'm trying to think here, you know, we have healing immunity, so my next hit, we're not going to get back to full health. Our med pack tech isn't going to do anything with the indispellable healing immunity. Do we try to pull the ult? And I'm like, okay, we can either pull the ult now and then probably just get screwed when she has her ult because there's no way we'll have it. And then they get Illuminated Destiny and things get really, really close here. So now we have ult for at least 2 turns, and she's about to go for her ult as well. So this should work out at least to get us to the next step. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll at least get a little bit farther. Clear all the buffs off of everyone. We go ahead and siphon JTR there. Still haven't killed Finn, man. This team only starts to fall apart once he goes down. Get ability blocked by JTR again. Healing immunity by JTR again. Finally kill Finn, but Illuminated Destiny hits again. Rey gets to her ult. We have 60% ult charge. She has speed up. She's definitely going to hit us before we get there. And SLKR tanks the ult, and this is a well-modded Rey. This is an offense set, offense primary R8 Rey versus my R7 SLKR. But it just goes to show how broken both health set SLKR is. We have full health on our SLKR, and then on top of that, the amount of health and protection he gets when someone decreases his turn meter. Just absolutely bonkers to see that. I think she even had offense up from BB8, so that should have really hurt, and it just didn't. Now we go ahead and take in CLS versus BAM here. I actually really don't like that we had to do this. Part of the reason why we had to do this was actually Datacrons. We weren't able to use a cheaper counter that could have gotten ahead of them, like Troopers, for example. So this is a much more expensive counter than I wanted to have to play. BAM's a pretty good team. I didn't want to get stuck behind it. Also, we were going first, and I didn't know how well my opponent was going to do. So, as you can see, CLS had absolutely no issues. Very easy 65. We get to the back wall. Not too threatening. He has some good teams, but not great teams. Iden's there. Iden does not have any potency, whether it be through her mods or Datacron. She's honestly pretty soft as far as the team goes in general. So we're able to take our Wampa in here, and it's just really a matter of time before he builds up the amount of offense he needs, and then we just start taking them out. I know I've talked about it kind of evens out. It doesn't really matter, but I do think Storm is a better fit for this team than Shore. We were able to kill Shore in less than a minute. He did not tank nearly as much as I think Storm would have, but it's same result, so who cares? We're able to take them out as we go. Try to time our kills with the revives correctly, and then, I mean, even if we don't, though, we're just going to get enough offense. So now, we have to beat the CLS team without Han and Chewbacca in the back. Really, it's kind of whatever. If our opponent had placed Dash here and had placed CLS up top with Han and Chewie, the result would have been the same. I don't really think these specific comps went through as necessarily secret sauce. It's just, you're just kind of rearranging things differently. That being said, Troopers go before this team, so it's a pretty easy win here. Misplay here, though. Don't hit Stormtrooper Han. Like, he has a chance to, I believe, reduce your turn meter even when he's not taunting. It's only the protection that he gets back. So he does do that. So if you're doing this battle, hit someone else, hit R2, hit CLS. I was trying to avoid them in the very beginning because I didn't want, CLS to counter gain turn meter, have Nubaka go, have Nubaka get an exposed that gets resist. Luckily, Piet kind of lands things right, so we get the dispel. Don't get to kill CLS because Dark was stunned, which was unfortunate. But now, I mean, CLS is dead. Nothing else really matters here. We can... Storms Rohan can reduce as much turn meter as he wants. We're still going to kill him. So, easy 64 there. We have to go ahead and kill JMK up top. JML Datacron. As long as you can land the ability blocks here, my gosh. And we did. We landed on both JMK, Cat, and Padme, so they can't readily get rid of the ability block. And we legitimately just killed GK in 3 hits. He doesn't get a turn. He's gone. And once he's gone, there's nothing this team can do. And we do just go for the kill on Cat rather than just stunning. I don't really regret that. And now they can't do anything. I mean, even if this battle is just down to like Jedi Master Luke and Jedi Knight Luke, we would win. And we still have the full team. Padme just eats it right there. We were able to increase cooldowns in JMK for a second. He's about to get ult, so it's kind of whatever. We get our ult before he even gets his 50%, which is... I don't know if I've ever been able to do that. I don't really go with any of my bigger hits just because he's about to ult. It's probably just not going to matter. We couldn't go for Ahsoka there because she had damage immunity, and now we're going to try to play the banner game here. We're obviously going to win from here, but we're going to try to get back to a turn with Shock T so that she can give health back. So I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to do here so that we can get him close to being dead, but not all the way there. So from here, I'm like, okay, we can't call in anyone to assist with repos because we're just going to kill him. So I think I just opt for a basic here. Opt for a basic here on Giant Luke as well. Get some health steal, and then we get to Shock T, and she's able to actually heal Giant Luke, and then we just kill him. So things are going really well. We're able to use our Separatists now against their Starkiller team. We're getting some bad RNG here for the last couple times, and this is typically kind of how it goes. They take control, they kill someone, Grievous finally gets to go. What really needs to happen right here, we just need one turn with B2 to make this go right, because the damage immunity, the buffs on all of them, the crit avoidance makes things really hard. We get one buff immunity, and that's really all she wrote. There's nothing else they can do from here. So we go ahead and heal up our B2. Probably should have healed up Newt, actually. There was almost really no reason to do that. Hit the characters that have target lock to keep generating turn meter. Throw that onto Palp just to kind of slow him down. We're going to get rid of Mara. Team is pretty much dead in the water now, at least, even for a cleanup. We're about to lose B1, who's actually holding on with one stack, which is kind of funny. Go ahead and just commit to killing Palp right there. Almost get SLKR out, get him out on the second one. And now I'm pretty sure we're about to lose both of our side droids here. But Magna actually we get the banner for him, even though I think it was about to kill over. I'm going to go ahead and take in our bounty hunters now against the Raddus team. Don't have a lot of experience with this, and I think Baze ruins this big time. If you're going to put... if you're going to build up the Raddus team and put on defense, you really do want Baze, because anything else... both Bad Batch, Bounty Hunters, anything that can really get ahead of them, that isn't Empire, they're probably just going to take them to town. So we're hitting Jin here in the beginning just because I know we're going to annihilate Raddus, and then Jin's the one that I'm going to want to kill immediately once Raddus is gone. You can't kill her if Raddus is still there. We annihilate him. That was very nice for us, and now we get to go all in on Jin and actually get her dead as well before anyone in the team even takes a turn. Go after Cassian now. I don't know if it matters at this point. Once those two are dead, the team loses a huge chunk of viability. Go ahead and throw the thermals out. We keep them going for the most part. Keep the turn meter going. Call in Zam. Zam actually does have a decent amount of damage. We go ahead and pop all the thermals as we can. Cassian's dead before anyone takes a turn. Biston's dead before anyone takes a turn. So now at this point, it's K2 ain't going to solo the entire bounty hunter team. He's going to go down pretty darn easily, despite, again, the relic disparity. The explosions are kind of scary. But again, if their team isn't able to hit us with the explosives on, how much are those explosives really doing? Probably should have gone for the protection recovery. I think we cost ourselves a banner there, but Mando rather took him out. So this is where things start. This is where things go south. This Dash team, it's good. I mean, really any team with Han and Chewbacca is very good, but the Omicron here with the revives makes it very difficult. And I shouldn't have been, I think, constantly using the damage immunity. I learned this after it's too late, but we have Fennec here, and I'm like, okay, so Fennec's going to be able to get Contract and ignore Taunt rather quickly, so let's just have her do that and have her kill Vander. Also, Boba almost, one-shots L3 and gets rid of her entirely because she won't be able to revive because it's Boba. But what's going to happen here is even with a fair amount of characters that can ignore Taunt, Vanshu is just way too tanky. Like, we didn't even break bonus protection. This really, the way we were doing this really never had a shot. We should have been trying to go around more off of Bam and trying to get Bam to hit Vander with 20 Whistling Birds. But even then, I don't know if this would have worked. Bam lead in that case would probably be better than Fennec. I wanted Fennec so that I could get contract on her and have her ignore, but she just did not put out as much as I needed to her, unfortunately. Vanshu did a very, very good job there. Our Bam dies before he even gets birds, and this is really the last real, well, I guess we still have Bad Batch, but I needed them to beat Qui-Gon. I kind of think Bad Batch, especially with the turn meter datacron that this one had, I think this is probably just not gonna get beat. I think there might have been a way that we could have organized our teams to be able to two-shot something else and then take this down, but a lot of that wasn't really even known at the time because we couldn't get to the back wall. Like, I probably could have Bam mirrored and then used CLS against this or something like that, but anyway, so this Qui-Gon Jinn had the turn meter cron, didn't matter, got very close to mattering, but at the end of the day, it did not. We just keep passing things over to Echo, kill Qui-Gon Jinn while Jedi Anakin is stunned, and then we just double tap Jedi Anakin to make sure he doesn't do anything fishy to us. Keep on stunning everyone. Doesn't matter about if they have foresight or not, they're gonna go down. And unfortunately, with this being the last match here, I can't actually show you the total outcome, but our opponent did actually fail a lot of battles on ground, and I think even 1 or 2 on fleet as well. I think he had to two-shot our entire top wall, but at the end of the day, he was able to break through both front walls, couldn't beat the back wall, but he was able to beat fleet as well, and he was able to beat us by 200 banners. So losing streak still continues, is what it is. Honestly, this was a really fun match. As much as I hate losing, SLKR tanking results, gosh, that was fun. And there were some other ones too. That, you know, Jedi Anakin killing Malik from full health, also pretty cool. So I guess we'll go ahead and claim that now. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and stay awesome.